March is upon us. The days, they're getting shorter, the mornings cooler, and that just means one thing: autumn is here. In this episode I'm going to show you how to make a mini shade house and what seeds to sow for the coming months, because we have to start thinking about winter. I'm Justin Harnish, and this is Off My Block. So what I'm going to do now is make a mini shade house, and this is so I can harden off some seedlings before they go into the garden. During the winter I can cover it with polythene to make it a greenhouse. This is the area I've decided to put it, and obviously I've got to tidy that up now, something I've been meaning to do for a while. Now it's time. Now that the area is clear, I'm not going to worry about digging up all the weeds. It's pretty flat the way I want it. So what I'm going to do is just put down some weed killer and start construction. So I've knocked up this frame. Didn't take me very long. The measurements are my measurements, so your measurements will be different to mine. But as long as you've got a fairly decent size, it is a shade house, so we've got to get some shade on there next. If you want to turn it into a greenhouse straight away, then you've got to get some transparent polythene. Now about halfway down the inside of the frame, I've actually put a shelf in, or at least a support for a shelf. I've got these guys here, which came off an old plant holder, a plant support. And we're going to use these as the shelves. So the measurement from there to there, ouch, is actually the measurement from there to the other side. So as you can see, rise on the game, even know my name. This for fame, no. Singing you're gone, I'm gone, where's it gone, I know. So the next step is actually putting the shade cloth on. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Windbreaker, shade cloth, you name it. This is actually shade cloth, but it does block a lot of the wind out. You know that I don't know where it goes, you tell, I'll yell, we fail, don't sell, just let it yell home. Is it pure coincidence that we keep tapping to this tempo? But do we know where to go? Till then we'll just keep on running. Such a long time, such a long way, trying to give it your all. Somebody says it's okay. Rise through the rain, rise on the game. Do you even know my name? I ain't doing this for fame, no. Singing rise through the rain, rise on the game. Do you even know my name? I ain't doing this for fame, no. Singing you're gone, I'm gone, where's it gone? I know that you know where it goes, you tell, I'll yell, we fail, don't sell, just let it yell, oh, you're gone, I'm gone, where's it gone? You know that I don't know where it goes, you tell, I'll yell, we fail, don't sell, just let it yell, getting it all back now, walking that mile. So stop for a minute and rest for a while. How do we ever know if this is all true? Synaptic connections, all be wondering if we know what to do. Yeah, rise through the rain, rise on the game. Do you even know my name? I ain't doing this for fame. And there you have it, a nice shade house. Nice green Shadehouse. Green and brown, or is it green and gold, or is it white and gold, or blue and black? Who cares? It's not a dibba dress anyway. So now when we get closer to winter, I'm going to actually put a door on it. Right now it's not really much of an issue because it's still quite warm. And right now all I'm concerned about is keeping the sun off the seedlings so they don't dry out too much. I will be putting an irrigation system in here, but right now hand watering is good. I like it, all set. Now that it's autumn and we've got the shade house up and running, it's time to start thinking about sowing seeds for winter. We could also sow for the autumn season some quick stuff like radish, but for the cabbages and cauliflowers and or other brassica type stuff, it's sowing the seeds now for later transplant into the garden is a very good idea. So what you're going to need is little trays. Don't forget your labels, and of course your seeds. And I've got some potting mix down here. Northern New Zealand is a subtropical climate. Check your own climate to find out what the best planting for March is. But for Northland it's artichokes, climbing and dwarf beans, beetroots, broccoli, cabbages, capsicums, which are peppers, carrots, cauliflowers, celery, chicory, Chinese cabbages, cress, cucumbers, eggplants, endive, herbs, kohlrabi, lettuces, marrows, mustard, onions, spring onions, parsnip, peas, which are climbing and dwarf peas, potatoes, pumpkins, radishes, rhubarb, shallots, silver beet, swedes, tomatoes, turnips and zucchinis. Now once you've done as many or as little as you want to, give them a quick order and put them in the shade house. So let's go into the garden and see what we can get. This is the Pack Joy. It's gone really well. It's cut and come again, so I'm just going to take some leaves off. Look at those. That's the Scarlet Runner. Grab some of them. I'll say just about every culture in the world has its form of boil up, which is grabbing whatever you have on hand, veggie wise, chopping it up into bite-sized chunks and boiling it for a couple of hours, which is what we're going to do with what we've found in the garden. Now, not only am I going to use the veggies that came from my garden, but with the help of my chickens and a bunch of eggs, I managed to trade for somebody else's vegetables, which is what I've got here. Now, I'm not going to use all of them. I'm going to save some of them, but the more you can put in a pot and boil up, the more you have later. And you can put them in plastic containers and put them in the freezer for later if you like. Alright, so it seems like a lot of stuff, and it actually is. So we've got everything from carrots here, kumara, sweet potato, pak choy, which you can actually put in whole like that, or simply cut it in half. The tomatoes, the onions, we've got leeks here, we've got a zucchini or courgette, depends where you come from. In this case it's so big, we call it a marrow now. We've got silver beet, and we've got kale there, as well as somewhere in here we've got some coriander, one of my pumpkins, or at least a quarter of it, and scarlet runners. So we'll chop most of this into bite-sized pieces and pop them in a large pot and start boiling the heck out of it. Start with a hard veg like pumpkin and carrots. The marrow can also go in along with the fresh herbs such as sage, thyme and rosemary. Give it a quick stir and add salt and pepper, then chuck in your favourite spices. I use chili flakes, paprika, turmeric and fresh coriander. Stir it up and bring it to the boil. Stir occasionally and add some stock of your choice. After it's been boiling for about a half an hour, add your kale and onion family, along with other soft vegetables. When the carrots are soft, add your leafy greens, pasta if you like, and a cup or two of rice. Boil for another half hour. Done. Well, that's about it for this episode. I hope you got a lot out of it and enjoyed watching it, and if you did, please down below give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. share it all around the social networking, etc, etc. Next week I'm going to be talking about organics. Yep, I'm going to be opening that big can of worms. So thank you for watching again, and remember, keep calm and garden on.